Hey guys, I'm Jacka.
And I'm Marcella.
And we just finished rewatching A New Hope. We love this one so much.
This one's definitely one of our favorites.
Oh, I love this one.
So we just finished watching Rogue One before we watched this. And we actually liked it a lot better the second time. We do have a movie review already for it, so that's why we didn't redo a movie review. So if you want to check that out before you watch this and then come back and watch this, you could do that.
Yeah, definitely. But the whole ending going into A New Hope, I love it so much. With Princess Leia, and you see that she has the Death Star plans, and she puts it into R2-D2. It's so great.
Overall, I mean, I love this movie.
I love this one too. It's just your classic movie. It's your classic Star Wars movie, honestly.
A lot of not really a whole lot of my opinions changed. Some of them did, but mostly I think that a lot of my initial thoughts on this movie has stayed the same. Yeah,
I've always loved this one. It's great. I think it's just, as a whole, it's so fantastic. It's such amazing writing, and I love the characters so much. I love Luke, I love Leia and Han, and I ship Leia and Han so hard. And oh my gosh,
especially their banter. This one,
so cute. We love Obi-Wan's in this one. We love, especially after seeing him in the prequels. There's so many moments
after watching the prequels and then watching this. It's just a lot of feelings.
So many feelings. So much.
Especially with Obi-Wan and Darth Vader.
So much nostalgia, really. And I just love it so much. And it's just so wonderfully done, the entire franchise as a whole. Like, one of the things that I kept saying to Marcella, and every time we watch this, we say this question: how did Darth Vader not sense that Luke and Leia were his kids? Like, how did he not sense Leia was right there?
That's one of the big plot holes in Star Wars, and I feel like a lot of people have their explanations for it. But it's a really big plot hole. Like, even if you try to explain it, there's not a concrete answer in the movie as to why that is.
I guess he wouldn't really recognize their Force signature because he doesn't know them.
That's the only reason that I could think, is that he wouldn't recognize the Force signature
because he doesn't know them yet. But
at the same time, though, that's a part of, they're a part of him and a part of Padme. I feel like he would, I don't know. Something that sense that is his kid. So,
and
Jagan was like, I think we read fanfic. He has sensed that was his kid.
We've read a lot of Star Wars fanfiction, actually. So I remember vividly reading one where he knew at that point that was his kid. But anyway, if you want to know, if you want me to link that to you, tell me down below and I'll find you the fanfic. Because I actually might go reread that. I love the whole beginning scene with Luke when we go to Tatooine and we see him with his uncle. And
we get that very dramatic shot of him looking out into the sunset.
I love that shot. I love that shot. Like, the music surges up. That is such a classic moment, though. I love it so much. It's so great, even though it's a little I guess
it's a little cheesy, but
it's so powerful.
And the music is amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that scene that we get of Obi-Wan and Luke, and when Obi-Wan mentions, he kind of you could see in his eyes, he goes back in time and he's talking about Anakin, and he's saying about how he's a great pilot, and then he goes, he was a good friend. So many feelings of Obi-Wan talking so highly of Anakin, because that was his brother, and they were just, And even after everything that happened, he could still look back and be like, he was a good friend, because he's trying to think about him then and not Darth Vader.
Well, he says Darth Vader killed him, and in a way, Darth Vader did kill him in some way. Exactly. I mean, he wasn't telling the whole truth there, but... and then I love that scene when, right before that, though, when Luke finds Obi-Wan, and he calls him Obi-Wan. He's like, oh, Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's like, that's a name I haven't heard in a long time. I love that line. And you just see, it's so reminiscent. They really did such a brilliant job of combining the two series, the two trilogies. George Lucas really knew what the hell he was doing in the story-wise. You can say what you want about the prequels, but story-wise, he knew how to connect them and what lines would really hit the audience in certain ways. Also get that scene that kind of parallels it when on Tatooine, when Luke goes back home and he says his home has been absolutely destroyed, kind of like how Anakin was when he goes back home in the second one and everything's destroyed and his mother dies, and it instead of making Luke dark, it made him want to be a Jedi and be powerful and be strong, and in contrast to his father, who when he saw that, it made him go towards the dark. It made him eventually have more darkness in him.
Anger. Yeah, Luke didn't have that anger because he didn't grow up like that. He didn't grow up with the Jedi. He grew up in a normal home with loving people with him, and he didn't grow up in that way. So he was kind of like, he didn't have to deal with that, and that didn't affect him like it did with his father.
Exactly. So then the lightsaber, Obi-Wan gives Luke the lightsaber, and it's like, that lightsaber, oh my gosh. Then the effects on the lightsaber, like, I feel like the time period that this was made, these were great effects.
I mean, it's not that bad.
It's really I really don't think it is. It's really not. We were actually saying that while we were watching the movie. Like, these effects are so timeless. Like, they still, they work. And I like them actually better than a lot of the effects that we get in the prequels. I think that these, as a whole, the effects are really strong. I love the scene, though, with Darth Vader, when he uses the Force and he's like, I find your lack of faith disturbing. Yeah. I always love the scenes with Han Solo and Chewie when you first meet them, and I love the music that's playing in the back. I love the music in general for Star Wars.
Han Solo is such a badass.
Oh my god, he's so hot. Harrison Ford. Oh my gosh, I love Han Solo so much, and I love
and you get the scene when Luke sees the Millennium Falcon, and he's like, what a piece of junk.
Yeah. Yeah, if you've seen the trailer for The Last Jedi, that's right. Oh my gosh.
He thinks very differently of the Millennium Falcon now.
There's so much. So many memories of the Millennium Falcon. I love the line, though, like, right when they get him to help, and they're like, oh, you know, like, you'll get a big reward if you end up helping us out. And they end up going into, like, the Death Star, and when they're there, Darth Vader comes out, and the Millennium Falcon is like, I felt a presence I haven't felt since then.
We literally were like,
oh my god, like, so shook at that point.
Even though we've seen this movie a million times, but it's still every time it still gets us. The whole scene when they go and they save Leia, and with the fight scene when they're all shooting, and then they get pushed down the garbage. Like, I love how Han Solo, he like kicks Chewie. He's like I don't care what you smell, and kicks him in there.
Oh my god! And then when they're in there, Chewbacca's like banging on the door and they get me out.
He's freaking out. Oh, that was an intense scene though, when the walls are closing in on them, and then finally R2-D2 and 3PO come and help them.
Yeah, and then they hear on the radio, they're like
they're all making these noises, like cheering, like they're so excited that they got saved. And 3PO is like, do you hear that R2? They're dying. It's just like, that's a really funny scene.
I love that scene, but inside of the garbage, I really love the banter that you immediately get to see between Han and Leia. It's so much fun. Like, this, like, sexual tension, animosity, like, right when initially when they first meet, they don't even know who each other is.
Your Highness.
They don't even know who each other is, and it's just so fun. And right before that, though, before they end up going in the garbage chute, I love when Han is on the radio, and he's like telling him, he's like, how are you?
Yeah, he's like, you know, we have a gas leak here. You can't come in. Just, you know. He's like,
who are you? Who is this?
He takes the gun and shoots it.
I love that scene. I love Han Solo so much.
His lines are wonderful.
Yeah, and I even love the scene with like him and Chewie when they're like running for the stormtroopers, and they turn around and they have to run the other way. Like, it's just so much fun, the two of them. I love when all that was happening, Darth Vader goes against Obi-Wan.
So we were saying, it's weird though, because after watching this scene again, I feel like I remembered it differently. It's very simple in the way that they're just kind of standing in one spot. They're literally not moving. They're standing still, and they're just kind of going back and forth and like going like that towards each other, and they're kind of like moving back. Like, and kind of like side to side, but they're not actually moving. Like, they're not really moving far distances at all.
They're not running. They're not
they're not
flipping
like
around.
They're not jumping. They're not doing flips, because when you can use the Force, you can like fly around. Like,
yeah, it was a very simple fight, and I feel like for Obi-Wan and Darth Vader, like Anakin, like the two of them, after you watch like the first fight with them on Mustafar, it's such a incredible fight scene,
and it's very long, and it's very complex in the way that they're jumping towards it. It's like they're jumping all over, and they're jumping like in this very dangerous situation of like they're gonna fall in the hot lava. So
and then exactly.
And then after watching this, and they're just kind of standing in one spot, it's a little disappointing now actually watching it.
And it's really quick. It's not really long, and I get it, because really that was, I guess, their second fight unless we get a fight between them in the Obi-Wan movie.
It's just a little disappointing for a fight between Darth Vader and Obi-Wan. I thought that was the only thing that I kind of like in this movie I thought could have been better.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that could have been better. That's the only really big issue that I had with watching this.
I would have preferred if it was a little bit longer and a little bit more extravagant, like choreography wise.
Yeah, it wasn't choreographed at all. They're just standing there.
Yeah. Ultimately, you know, Obi-Wan dies, and it's obviously really sad, but he's like a Force ghost now, and he's inside, like Luke like telling him like, use the Force will be with you always. And then it
comes right back around though when Qui-Gon died too.
Exactly.
So it kind of brings it full circle in that way too, and it's like, oh.
Exactly. I'm actually wondering what happened to his lightsaber.
It was there on top of the clothes.
Yeah, but I wonder like if we'll ever see that again in future films. Easter egg. And obviously we love the whole scene of the Death Star, the destroying of the Death Star. It's so cool.
And we have Luke as a pilot
and going up against Darth Vader. Yeah. Oh my gosh! And then you get that shot when Darth Vader like narrows in on Luke, and he's like, "The Force is strong with this one."
Yes.
Oh my god. That part. Yeah. And I love though that R2-D2 was behind him, and it's just so reminiscent to when Anakin would fly with R2-D2.
Oh my gosh. Oh, and then he says the line. He was like, they were like, "Oh, do you want a different R2?" And he's like, "No." He's like, what do you say? He's like,
"Not in your life." Like, it's just great. I love that. And I love the scenes obviously between Han and Leia and Luke at the very end when like they win and they got rid of the Death Star and they're like hugging, and I think that's just so great. And there's just so much love for this movie.
So many feelings like rewatching this because it's like
I love them so much.
Like those three.
Yeah, I know. I always love how strong Leia is, like with her gun, how she was like fighting back and she wasn't just like this damsel in distress. I always love how strong she is, and Han Solo's just fantastic, and Luke is great. We're so excited to watch the next one. Yes. So next week we will be watching and talking about Empire Strikes Back, which is a great one as well. I just love the original trilogy so much, and I'm so excited to hear what you guys have to say about A New Hope.
Let us know if you had any issues with it and what your issues were and what your favorite parts were.
I'm curious if you guys felt the same way that we did about the fight scene between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader.
So yeah, if you enjoyed this movie and you enjoyed our review of it, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe for more Star Wars reviews to come.
You can also talk to us about Star Wars on Twitter and Snapchat. We're at City of the Feels.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching. Bye!